Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the first ever theme park calling show. Today, we're going to be talking about the latest topics on theme parks. And if you do want to call in and have your say, I have put the StreamYard link in the chat. I'm not too sure. I'm looking at it on YouTube on my phone now. I don't know why it's not come up. Um, but yeah, I'll put it in there again anyway. But yeah, there we go. So basically, we're going to be giving you guys the chance to have, for you guys to have your say. And yeah, you guys will be able to come on, call in. I did put the StreamYard link in the comment section. If you can't see it, then I've put it in the description down below. So go and check the description of the video. It should be in there anyway. I did definitely put it in the chat. I put it in twice, so I've no idea why it's not doing it, but there we go. But let's go into a couple of topics before we get on with the calls. So obviously we've got one caller already in the back, and if you guys want to join as well, like I said, the StreamYard link is in the what do you call it? The description. And I've tried to put it in the comment section about twice now, and it's not done it. So no idea why, no idea how, but there we go. Now let's just start off with our first topics, and of course, first of all, is Shrek 4D. Now, obviously, Shrek 4D at Universal Studios Orlando will be closing permanently at the theme park. Now, obviously, for some people, it's a very sad closure. For some people, not really. So on January the 10th, 2022, Shrek 4D and the adjacent gift shop will all close on January 10th, 2022. Now, we don't know what's replacing it yet. We're hearing whispers of 2023 being the year of replacement. We don't know from where, we don't know how, we don't know when, but that it seems to be what could be happening. Could it be a 2023? It could be. But all we know is that Shrek 4D will be no more. Now, obviously, with the other stuff going on with Universal, there's more other stuff with Universal because Revenge of the Mummy is getting a refurbishment in 2022. It's getting a refurbishment in January, so that should be pretty good there. Now, obviously, it's a 2022 thing. It'll be a lengthy refurbishment for that particular ride from January the 7th right up until the summer. And we don't know what's happening yet, but somebody did tell me a rumor that it's going to be a repaint and some brand new animatronics. So very interesting there. Now, in terms of other stories, we've got an S&S Axis coaster coming to Europe in 2023. Very exciting development there. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with that. I do believe personally that I don't know where it's going to go. I'm probably going to do a video next week sharing your comments from the video about where you think it should go. And it should be a very interesting development because I think that the Axis coaster, it's a very new concept. It's a very exciting concept. And to have it in Europe is going to be very, very exciting. Few people have heard whispers of Wallaby Holland, but they're not concrete rumors. So very interesting there. And finally, what is the future of Six Flags Magic Mountain? What is next for Six Flags Magic Mountain after the RMC Raptor coaster opens in 2022? All of that and much, much more can be discussed if you call in with your say. The StreamYard link is in the description down below. I will put it in the chat again, the StreamYard link, because I don't know why in God's name it is not working on here. There we go. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat now. So the StreamYard link is officially in the chat now. Come on and have your say. I will pin it. Hang on. I will pin it to the top of the chat as well. I will pin it. If I know how to pin the comment. There we go. Pin message. There we go. So the StreamYard link is pinned in the chat. So you guys can come on and have your say. And there we go. Let's get straight on then with our first caller. And it's going to be Coaster Hour from the United States. Coaster Hour, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to be on here once again and doing something with you. And I've had a pretty good day so far. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it for me.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. First of all, then Shrek 4D closing at Universal Studios Orlando in January 2022, January the 10th, 2022. What is your thoughts on that?
So, I've never ridden the version in Florida. I have done the one in Hollywood, and I do know that that was replaced by a DreamWorks Theater attraction now playing a Kung Fu Panda movie. So I could expect maybe something like, maybe even like exactly that would be coming. But I just looked at the map as well. I believe that Shrek 40 is actually right across from the Despicable Me ride. So potentially, and I've heard rumors that, and I don't know how legit they are, maybe we could be seeing a Secret Life of Pets dark ride, maybe inside of that building. Would kind of make sense because it'd be two Illumination properties right next to each other with that and Despicable Me. So, um, if I had to guess, I honestly am probably more leaning towards the DreamWorks theater sort of idea, but I could also see maybe Secret Life of Pets or maybe even something Sing related going in that area. It'll be interesting to see for sure what happens.
Yeah, 100%. And it should be interesting to see what will come into that area of the park. Staying with Universal Studios Orlando, then, Revenge of the Mummy getting a lengthy refurbishment from January up until the summer. Rumours, not concrete or could be concrete, we don't know at this stage, of a a repaint of the track and also new animatronics. I mean, if this was the refurbishment, would you be a fan of this or would you want more from this?
I once again I have only written the Hollywood version, so I've never written the Florida version, but probably good. I've heard that the Florida version is a little lacking when it comes to the theming side of things, so probably a refurbishment, maybe getting some new animatronics, updating some projections and things of that sort would be probably a good thing for it. A repaint of the track, I mean, I don't really see what all that would do. You're in the dark, so I don't really see why you would do that. What I could see happening though is, and I've heard from some people who've written it, that there are certain like kind of abrupt jolts in the layout. Perhaps we could see some more track refurbishment type of work going on there. But that is all speculation. But I think basically update the theming and maybe some track work would be what would be done. And depending on how it's executed, I think it could be a change for the better.
Yeah, 100%. Finally, then, the Axis coaster coming in 2023 to Europe. I think this is a story that definitely hit hard and created a massive bombshell with the coaster community. I mean, where do you see this going, and what was your reaction to the announcement?
I mean, I'm happy now that we have a park that is willing to take a chance on the SNS axis. We've seen SNS outside of their 40 free spins. To be completely honest, a lot of their coasters, how they've turned out reliability wise, has not been great. You can look at Steel Curtain, you can look at Gale Force, you can look at Max Force. I don't really think I would call any of those super reliable, so I was kind of concerned with when would we see an Axis? So it's great that a European park has taken a chance on this. I'm very happy that they're going to be getting the first one. As for where I think it could go, Wallaby Holland is a pretty strong contender. They've been getting some really nice additions over the last few years. So if I had to pick a park, that's probably my prediction. But I think a Merlin park could potentially be in the mix. They still seem to be willing to take risks. I know that Gardaland is doing their Jumanji ride next year, which I've heard is pretty expensive. So perhaps the Merlin Park might take a chance, maybe Alton Towers or another one of their larger properties. But if I had to guess, probably Wallaby Holland. But regardless, I'm excited to see who gets it and what it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Wallaby Holland seems to be thrown around by quite a few people. In fact, I'd probably go so far as to say it's the most rumored of the parks to be getting the Axis coaster. I mean, what kind of I mean, what kind of theme would you think Wilbur Holland would go for if it was them? And you got to think this is 4 years since Untamed, so I guess it's probably the most likeliest of parks, with it being 4 years since their last coaster.
I'm not too familiar with Albie Holland in terms of the themes that they have, so I couldn't give you a potential theme that they would go for. I just have heard that there's like a pretty good plot of land. I think it's of an attraction that they could remove that like pretty much fits what an Axis coaster would be, is what I've heard is why people see that they could be getting it. I'm not really sure what exactly it would look like, but if it were going to Wallaby Holland, I'd expect a Axis coaster with a traditional lift hill. The only one I could see having a launch would be maybe Alton Towers because of the tree line, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a complete guessing game altogether. Coaster Al, thank you very, very much for coming on the Theme Park Call-In Show. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much, mate. Top man. Guys, call in. That's how it works. So basically, we do all of that. We get your thoughts on the news, and then we'll be saving the audio and then producing them as theme park fan cams. So if you do want to be involved with all of that, again, you can just use your audio, like Coaster Al just did. Use your audio. Come on, have your say on the topics. I'm going to be posting those fan cam videos up either tonight or tomorrow. They'll be up either tonight or tomorrow. So Coaster Hours will be up tonight or tomorrow. Fingers crossed. But while waiting for more callers, and guys, please use the StreamYard link pinned at the top of the chat and the description down below. It's everywhere, so you can't miss it. Use the call-in link. Come on, have your say. While we're doing that, let's have a look at the comments section. So hello to Denver. Hello to Theme Park Unlimited. Hello to Joe. I called the local pizza place who wants pizza, says Joan. Rumor has it that Despicable Me attraction will replace Shrek 4D. Oh God, I'm starting to get tired there. Yeah, I think that this Despicable Me seems to be one of the big rumors that's being discussed. Like a villain con kind of attraction, walkthrough attraction, something like that. Jason says you heard from the coaster in Southport. I haven't heard much. In fact, I'll have a quick look at Google because I don't think I've heard much from that yet. Let's have a look. I don't think I've heard much from my end anyway. No, nothing new from the coaster there. But yeah, I think that again, it could be anything at this point, but in terms of Southport Podge Line, I've not heard anything yet in terms of plans being completely accepted and construction starting, etc. But I've heard that it's on the right. Last time we heard something from this project, it was on the right track, so that's definitely a good sign. Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain will be getting a repaint to a dark green color. That's very exciting, definitely. Awesome to do this again. Really fun idea. Thank you very much, Coaster Out. Great to see you. For Six Flags Magic Mountain, I bet we see a Samurai Summit area refurb. The Tatsu repaint would make sense for that. Would we see a new attraction in that area? I'm willing to actually look on Google Maps while I'm live and just see. Let's have a look. So it's around where Tatsu is, basically. So if I just type in quickly, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Samurai. Oh, forgot to spell Magic Mountain because Google doesn't work with me sometimes. Samurai Summit. So just have a look at the themed land then. So in terms of the attractions we currently have in that area, we have Ninja, we have Tatsu, we have Superman Escape from Krypton. We used to have the Magic Pagoda and the Sky Tower, so two former attractions there. But let's have a look then on Google Maps. I can't really share my screen, or in fact, can I? I think I can. Comment down below if I can on StreamYard, but I think I can. Let me try and get the right, yeah, satellite. There we go. So let me go into the Tatsu area just to make sure I'm in the right place. If I can share my screen, then please let me know because I would love to do that. Right, there's Tatsu there. Yeah, there's Tatsu there. I think I could share my screen. I think I can anyway. Can I? I don't think I can. Let me try. Let me try and share my screen. Try and share my screen. Let's have a look. Share my screen. And then, yeah. So you can see there, it's not very, it isn't fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. It isn't fantastic. But we do have, that's the Tatsu area there. So that coaster there is going to get painted green. If we look around the site, I mean, you've got the Revolution going through there. You've got Jetstream. You've got Jetstream, which, to be honest with you, I think Jetstream will probably get removed. I think that could be the next attraction to get a remove if it hasn't already. Well, it hasn't already, to be fair. So I think they could remove Jetstream and maybe bring in their next big investment in the Samurai Summit areas, like a phase 2 or 3, from repainting Tatsu, doing up Ninja's area, and things like that. So they could do some work on the Jetstream site. You never know. Yeah, Ninja's also part of it. I agree, Coaster, it is. So Ninja's a part of it. Superman Escape from Krypton's technically involved in it. Tatsu's involved in it, and there we go. But yeah, I think that overall, I think they could do their next big investment on the Jetstream site. Could be a possibility there. Joe says, have you heard London Resort most likely will happen? I have heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard the Sun say that the UK Disneyland is going to be probably set to be constructing next year. 2022 will be the start of construction, so very exciting there potentially. But it's the Sun. Do we believe them? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know whether to believe them or not. Some of their articles are great. Some of the articles maybe not. But yeah, it's one of those things. Really, you know, do you believe one source or two or multiple? You don't know which sources, do you? So, well, I have heard whispers from other sources though that the construction is most likely going to start next year, and you know, we'll have breaking ground on this project. So that's always a good sign. Could Michigan's Adventure get anything? Says Roland. Well, first of all, Roland, welcome to the show. I think Michigan's Adventure could get something in the future. It's just a case of what. It depends what suits Michigan's Adventure. I have pinned the StreamYard link at the top of the chat, but I will put it in the chat once again for those of you who've missed it. There it is in the chat now. I think Michigan's Adventure could get, in terms of Michigan's Adventure's next roller coaster, they could go for something like a Ghost Light Eurofighter. They could go for something else. It depends, really. We got Jay Rosen on the show. Jay, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So, I mean, first of all, Joe said, have you heard London Resort most likely will happen? What are your thoughts on London Resort? Because this has been like a decade worth of news, and we're finally getting to the point where next year we'll start to see construction break ground on this project.
If the London Resort happened, it would be my new home park. So obviously I want it to happen, but at this point it's been delayed so many times, I doubt it's going to go ahead. But obviously if it does, it would be fantastic for many different reasons.
Yeah, 100%. And going on about the rest of today's news then, Shrek 4D closing at Universal Studios Orlando. You know, it's been operating since 2003. I mean, there's been whispers of Despicable Me, whispers of Secret Life of Pets, whispers of different things. I mean, what do you think is going to be going into that spot, hopefully for 2023?
I'm hoping it's not another Despicable Me attraction. I don't see a point if Despicable Me Mini Mayhem's across the street from it. If their best call to plan, I think, is to add Secret Life of Pets or another Illumination themed ride and make that sort of an area of the park.
Yeah, that's definitely a good shout. And sticking with Universal Studios Orlando then, Revenge of the Mummy's Refurbishment, a lengthy refurbishment from January to the summer. What are your thoughts? And if you were to refurbish the ride yourself, what would you do to the experience?
Update. The animatronics definitely needed updating. I last went on it. I've been before. I went on it a couple of years ago now, and it started to feel a bit tired. Like some of the effects weren't working. So to be honest with you, I don't think the attraction itself needs changing. It's more just making sure everything's up to scratch again.
Yeah, and would you? I mean, one of the rumors is repainting the track and putting in some new animatronics. Would that be on your list of priorities for the refurbishment as well?
Oh yeah. The track, well, obviously you can't really see it. It's in the dark, so that's less important. But obviously maintenance is key, especially if it's in a park which is as busy as Universal is. It's one of the busiest parks in the world. And in terms of the animatronics, once again, all of the effects really needed just a bit of TLC to get them back up to how they were when the attraction first opened.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. And then finally, SNS Axis Coaster coming to Europe in 2023. I mean, this is probably the news that many roller coaster enthusiasts have been waiting for but didn't really expect. I mean, what's your first reactions to the news?
My first thought was I don't think it's going to go to a Merlin park, to be honest with you. I know that's going against what a lot of people have said, and that's purely because Chessington are getting that world first in 2023. And I don't see that Merlin taking that much of a risk again in the same year. However, there has apparently been a lot of tree clearing spotted at Thorpe, so that's the only. If it was a Merlin park, the only reason I heard that on Theme Park Worldwide's most recent video about Fright Nights. I don't know how true that is, but if it was a Merlin park, that's the only one I could see it going to be honest, at this point. But for other European parks, I don't think it's Portaventura because they're rumours to be getting the hot racers. I'm sure you're aware. Energylandia, that's probably everyone's go-to, but I doubt that's going to happen. Wallaby Holland's one that's been thrown around a lot. I can see that happening, especially since they've very quickly moved up the ranks with stuff like Untamed as well. Toverland is another one I'd throw in there as well because of their massive expansion they're getting. And if they had the room, Fantasialand as well, probably. Apart from that, I can't really see any of the other parks getting it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Wallaby Holland's been a name that's been thrown about quite a lot by a lot of different sources. I mean, would you see? I mean, it's been 4 years since Untamed, so would you see Wallaby Holland as one of the most likeliest of guesses? And you know, what theme would you give it if it was at Wallaby Holland?
I don't really know about theme, but 4 years. I don't know what their track record's like with in terms of years of their coasters, but 4 is reasonable for quite a few parks worldwide. I mean, you could say the same for a place like Alton Towers, to be fair, which hasn't had one since was the Wicker Man 2018, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's been quite some time as well. So they're probably going to be due one shortly too. But like I said earlier, Merlin's unlikely. They're probably off the table for it. But going back to Wallaby Holland, I don't see a real theme. I can't really predict a theme they'd go with for it at the time being. Because Wallaby Holland aren't really known for doing IPs or anything like that. So you can't base anything off of that.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And sort of going on then quickly about Alton Towers, obviously it's still up in the air what's going to go on for next year, if there's going to be any kind of new attraction next year. I mean, obviously there has been the whispers about Subterra uniforms walking around Scarefest, and there's still popping up rumours about the rebirth of Subterra. I mean, what do you think is going to go on for 2022, if anything's going to go on for 2022, first of all?
If anything was to go ahead for 2022, it would probably, it's very unlikely, but the only thing I could see them doing is starting to remove the temporary fair rides at the end of the year to try and get some more permanent replacements. Because, in my opinion, Towers do not need another coaster for the time being. They need to focus on flat rides. Like, that's the reason why Thorpe, as much as their coasters aren't as good as Alton Towers, they have a more complete park, if that makes sense. Because they've got a better collection of flats.
Yeah, 100%. And when, in your opinion, when would you expect to see maybe the first sort of signs of Secret Weapon 9? Would you maybe see 2022 as being the year of the first plans, or would you wait another year or two for it?
I'll probably say, well, I also heard somewhere, also probably a rumor that they started planning Secret Weapon 9, like talking about it in like 2019. So 2022. This is just rumors that I've heard. Like, don't take anything seriously, of course. Just from like reading comments from YouTube. But 2022 would be the earliest I'd expect to see plans. But obviously, they won't have in 2021. 2023 is the earliest I'd see break ground. Maybe 2023 if it's not a massive attraction, or 2024. But I can't see 2023 being a possibility for SW9. 2024 seems more likely to me.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. Jay Rosen, thank you very, very much for coming on the Theme Park Collins show. Your audio, of course, will be saved for the fan cam video. Much appreciated, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jay Rosen. Really good guest there. Had some very great opinions. And guys, if you want to call in and have your say, the StreamYard link is in the chat. Go and find it. It's pinned at the top. Come on, have your say, and you'll be involved in our fan cam series on the channel, a brand new series called Theme Park Fan Cams. Very nice idea that I had, but yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get this series kicked off in style. Let's go into the comments while we're waiting for more callers. Coaster Hour, I'm really holding out for London Resort. I am as well. I really, really am. What are Cedar Fair's weird ride policy? I have no idea. I didn't even know there was a weird ride policy. I didn't think of it a second Despicable Me ride. Interesting idea. Yeah, it definitely is. An Axis at Fantasyland will be a dream coaster. It definitely would. Joe says the S&S Axis coaster could be going to Lightwater Valley, as it is with being acquired by Brighton Pier. This could be the jump start it needs, as it has a ton of space. Yeah, absolutely. I have heard from Q&A I hold a couple of weeks ago with Park Management. They are most likely to be keeping Flat Rise and expanding the events lineup. Very interesting. That's definitely interesting. And it would make sense to have an event here, especially financially as well. Great stuff, says Coaster Hour. Hello, Kaylee. Kaylee, if you want to come on and share your thoughts on the latest news, the StreamYard link is pinned at the top of the chat. So yeah, please come up and share your thoughts. Jay Rosen, thank you very much for coming on the show, mate. You've been fantastic. You'll be a brilliant guest. I want it to happen badly, but I doubt it will. London Resort. Yeah. You've lost weight on your face, Chal. Well done, mate. You know what? This is the weird thing, right? I think ever since I started my new, well, not new anymore, but ever since I started my job, like a couple of months ago, well, it's a couple of months now since I started my job, I've lost weight. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think I've lost some weight, which is brilliant. So this job's keeping me on my toes, which is fantastic. Thoughts on the Smiler, says Kaylee. It's an interesting coaster. I wouldn't say it's the best one out there because inversions, in my opinion, don't make a great ride. But I think that it's good for the UK. It's a decent one for the UK. It's a bit rattly in places, but that's classic Gerstlauer for you. What are your thoughts on the Decepticoaster at Universal Studios Beijing? I love it. I love the look of this coaster. I think it looks fantastic. The theming level for this coaster is unbelievable as well. No problem. Really enjoyed it. Brilliant. I can't wait to release your fan cam, Jay Rose, and it's going to be brilliant. Smiler's my number one. Everyone's got different number ones. I can't wait. Now, this is the best thing about having this job, right? I can't wait to save up the next 2-3 months of my work pays, and it's going to go towards, hopefully, fingers crossed, a Blackpool Pleasure Beach opening weekend trip in February. That's what I'm aiming for next year. If it's possible as well to slot that in there the next month after that, Alton Towers opening weekend, Blackpool Pleasure Beach opening weekend, Alton Towers opening weekend. Those are 2 trips I'm aiming to do next year. So fingers crossed, if you do see me at the park, don't forget to say hi. Let's go into some more comments. Don't forget the StreamYard link is pinned at the top of the chat. I will put it in the chat again anyway, just in case you guys need an extra reminder. It's in the chat. It's pinned at the top of the chat. It's in the description of the video as well. So if you guys want to call in and have your say, please do. What is your favorite overall coaster? Wicker Man at Alton Towers. Gotta be. It's Wicker Man first, Nemesis a very close second, and Swarm third. If you could go to any American park, what would it be? Probably Six Flags Magic Mountain, because I want to experience the whole most coasts in one park in the world kind of vibe. It might feel like an amusement park, but I want to experience Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's close between that and Cedar Point, and probably the original Disneyland in Anaheim, California. So there's some close seconds, but I think Six Flags Magic Mountain probably still tops it for me. Favorite Disney ride? Oh, it's a tough one. I've only done one Disney park back in 2006, and that was Disneyland Paris. On that basis, I'm going to go for It's a Small World. I think It's a Small World's a fantastic dark ride, full of exceptional theming, really good, and it's just a magical ride. It just gives me Toyland Tours vibes. I think Toyland Tours is like a non-Disney family dark ride classic, in my opinion. So I'd probably go for It's a Small World. It's a small world after all. Addictive soundtrack, very addictive soundtrack. What do you think will replace Dark Ride Hollywood Tour at Phantasialand? First of all, Mikey, welcome to the show. Hollywood Tour. Now, I have spoken about this in a previous video. It should be interesting to see what happens to that. I mean, I expect probably another dark ride to replace it. I'm not expecting a coaster in that spot, but it would be nice to see a coaster in that spot. But I'm probably expecting a dark ride. I think the first SNS Axis in the US will go to Dollywood or Hershey Park. I'm looking at, by the way, in terms of Dollywood and Hershey, I might look at doing some more videos on those parks. So yeah, I might be doing some videos on those parks. So I might do some history videos as well. I might do some voiceover documentary videos. So stay tuned if you do want to see more of them. It's a Small World in Paris, my favorite one. It beats the one in the States. I went to Disney Paris in 2017. Brilliant. We love the Paris one. Scream Park Insanity Official. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Hollywood Tour replaced by the 2023 SNS Axis. That is interesting. Again, I'm probably going to have to share my screen to do this, but I'm going to anyway. So let me go back onto my trusty Google Maps. Bit of an intro theme tune there for Google Maps, because I want to find the site of Hollywood Tour. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to sort of show you guys what the site looks like. So let's go on to layers. Let's zoom in a bit and let's find the Hollywood Tour attraction. In fact, it's right here. Very, very close. So let's share the screen right about now. Right, so there we go. So you can see on the screen there the Hollywood Tour site. Now, obviously, the Hollywood Tour building is very big. It doesn't just contain Hollywood Tour. It is a multi-tower building. Well, not multi-tower, but you get what I mean. It contains the Crazy Bats coaster, as well as which of course the old Temple of the Nighthawk indoor coaster as well. So you'd have to remove that as well as the other surrounding things outside the building or on the edge of the building. I feel like I feel like this could be a. I think when you look and you see and you say maybe an Axis coaster, you're not wrong. You're kind of not wrong. I think that's a real potentiality. I think that's a real potential chance of happening. I would personally look on that and say that an Axis coaster in that particular site, if you remove the Temple of the Nighthawk as well, it would be a worthy replacement, especially if you had the world's longest, tallest, fastest layout as well. If it broke a couple of world records, just to give it that competition and sort of start the competition off worldwide, then it's got a real opportunity to do that. So yeah, I think that an Axis coaster could work in that particular site, but it's just a case of would it? So there we go. So that is looking at Phantasialand. Let's have a look at some more comments here. Kaylee, have you heard of Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk and the Giant Dipper? I've heard some stuff from it. It's definitely an interesting one. Next UK part not owned by Merlin to get a brand new Major Coaster. Well, Southport Pleasureland looks likely to be getting the Zampella Thunderbolt next year, or maybe 2023, who knows? But I think it could be 2022. After that, just to expand on that comment, after that, I would probably say either Thorpe Park gets the 2023 Axis Coaster project for Europe, or Alton Towers Secret Weapon. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's Merlin, obviously. So after Southport, non-Merlin, I'm gonna go for, and this is just thinking aloud here, and this is just what I want personally. This is not going to realistically happen. This is what I want personally. I want to see Fantasy Island get a coaster. I think Fantasy Island could get a coaster next, and I may be wrong, could be wrong, but who knows? But like Water Valley could be within a shout as well. Flamingo Land, they may want something for the family market. Who knows? Hershey could use an Axis really badly. My prediction is that Cedar Fair gets the first US Axis, depending on how successful and reliable the European one is. And that's what it all comes down to, really, the reliableness of the reliability of the European one, because that's technically the prototype edition, or the prototype edition. So we'll see. We'll see. What are your thoughts on Nickelodeon Universe, the ones that are in the same malls in USA? Really good. They look interesting additions and interesting attractions, so would be very interesting indeed. Let's go further up. Yeah, forgot about that one. Can I have a shout out, please? Yep, shout out to Gareth Firth. Welcome to the show. Giant Dipper in Santa Cruz is so fun and underrated. Underrated ride and park. Yeah, I've heard a few things about it. Yeah, it will be another dark ride, as you've well have heard about the. We heard about the new water park in Bournemouth. Will be Indiana Jones inspired. I will do a video on that. Stay tuned. I will do a video on that. I'm giving the whole chat, well, not the whole channel, but I'm giving the channel a bit of an interesting twist. I'm sort of giving them the video shorter titles. Probably going to give, do a bit of a different editing approach with the videos now. So the channel's going to go up in places. We're going to go places, trust me. But we're going to keep the same natural presenting style that you guys love and get you guys involved again as well. We'll open 2023. It will indeed. This may be a dumb question, but what is an Axis coaster? It's not a dumb question at all, Kylie. It's a perfectly responsible question. The Axis coaster, it's basically just like different axes of rotation on the seats. It can have a launch, it can have a lift hill, it can have many different things. But yeah, basically Axis coaster is basically different axes of rotation on the seating arrangement of the coaster. I think Water Valley will be the next UK non-Merlin part to get a coaster, assuming they close the Ultimate permanently. See, I want Water Valley to keep the Ultimate. I don't know what it is, or just get someone in to do like a redo of it. Now, I'm not saying RMC because that's very unrealistic. Unless it is, unless they've got the funds for it, it's very unrealistic to get RMC involved. But I'd like to see someone come in and redo the Ultimate into a more modern coaster. But I think Water Valley could have a shot anyway. Hello, Alpha Swirl. I do remember you from previous streams. We'll do an update on Hello Scream at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I will try. I'll try, Falco Flyer. I may do a rundown of what's going on at the event, and the dates, etc. So just bear with me, and I'll hopefully get a video done as soon as possible. Do you think Tucson Free could get the SNS Axis coaster since they haven't had one for a long time? I think Tucson Free, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've got a coaster project going on already in 2023, I believe. If you guys remember, now we first heard about this back in 2019. It was November. But it was I think it was like a Gerstlauer invert. I think it's like a Gerstlauer inverted coaster, something like that. And it was named Dragon. So that's what they're getting basically. I'm just having a look at the Coast Force forum while we're live. If you look on the Coast Force forum, more supports have been spotted in Vacoma's testing factory. and the layout has been revealed for Hyde Park Winter Wonderland. So expect a video when I'm back from work tomorrow. Fingers crossed. So yeah, expect a couple of videos because Hyde Park Winter Wonderland is its layout's been revealed. So I will do a video on that. Do you have a favorite log flume type of ride? Any log flume. I love any type of log flume. When is the new ride appearing at Flamingoland? That'll be opening next year. That'll be next year, mate. Can I join you on StreamYard? Yeah, the StreamYard link's pinned at the top of the chat. It's pinned it's in the description. It's in the chat already, as well as it being pinned. So go and find it. Come on and be part of the show. Louis, with a round of applause. I'll give you a round of applause right back, Louis. You're a great fan of the channel, and you deserve all the credit. Do you think Kings Island could get a coaster theme to Genshin Impact? I don't know what that is. Is it an anime or whatever? Maybe by Mac or SNS. If it's an anime, they don't usually go for IPs. But Mac or SNS launch coaster, I could get, or a coaster by Mac or SNS, I could get behind. I heard on the radio the other day there was talks of Stranger Things Dart Ride. I know a company is in talks either with theme parks or museums to build it, whoever wins the contract. Ooh. Alton Towers, Forbidden Valley, Subterra Site, 2023 or 2022. Who knows? But there we go. How do Europe parks differ from America parks? Is there a big difference or pretty smaller? It depends how you look at it, really. There's different ways you could look at it. Going to Winter Wonderland for the first time this year. Hope to get the cred and not break the bank whilst doing it. Good luck, Jay Rosen. I do want to go out to that event, that Hyde Park Winter Wonderland in London at some point in the future. It won't be this year. It won't be this year, but maybe next year. If I'm doing a Blackpool Pleasure Beach trip in February, hopefully, and an Alton Towers trip in March, hopefully, I might fit in a Hyde Park Winter Wonderland trip in December next year, something like that in 2022. Have you heard the Bullet from Flamingoland is returning to Europe's soil at Wiener Prater in Austria, of course? I haven't, but I have now. And it sounds very exciting indeed. It's a game. I don't know what you mean. Oh, it's a game. It must be Genshin Impact. Okay, fair enough. Have you heard about the Five Nights at Freddy's ride proposal? Where is that, please? I'd like to know what part that's going to. But we are joined by Alpha Swirl. How are you doing today?
Oh yeah, doing good.
Yeah, good. How have you been?
Yeah, but I've actually been doing good lately. I'm just got off of school right now, actually.
Yeah, no worries. So what do you think, first of all, about the closure of Shrek 4D? Do you think it's the right move, and what do you see replacing it? And what would you like to replace it?
Okay, honestly, to be honest, I have been going to Universal when I was like 11 or 12 years old. I can't remember though, but there was like this Shrek 4D that I have been seeing around, and basically, to be honest, I did it, and honestly, it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie though, it was good. And to be honest, with this closure, I think like, to me, this might cause some debate, but I think they should actually if they should actually replace it, because there are more films that are going to be coming into the future though. So instead of focusing on the past, they should focus on the present right now.
Yeah, 100%. And in terms of the Revenge of the Mummy refurbishment, what are your thoughts on that? What would you like to see done with it? Do you think you would like to see a repaint and some animatronics, or would you like to see more than that?
Honestly, to be honest, I never did that one because I was too short to do it. I'm not gonna lie though, but I can do it with no problems. The thing is, I want to mention really quick is that basically I don't mind about it with beginning refurb, because even though it opened like several years ago, I don't even mind it how it's doing it. But basically, I can actually kind of like thinking about what this could actually mean for the park. Maybe because basically I know refurbishments not only will make the coaster better, but like way smoother. And honestly, that'll actually be a really good thing to actually have this coaster. And honestly, I think the theme will be a lot more better and got a new repaint. I think it should have a new repaint. Just saying.
Yeah, 100%. And finally, then, the Axis coaster coming to Europe in 2023. I mean, what park do you think will get the first ever Axis coaster in Europe and the world as well? Who do you think is going to break the record?
Ooh, dang, that's actually a pretty good question. Honestly, I don't even know exactly what they're going to go into. So definitely, first of all, I thought about free parks, and obviously the first one I thought was Oakwood. And honestly, I didn't know that was a good part because they don't have that much coaches there. Second, Alta Towers, they have like height to work with, and honestly, I don't think that'll actually be good because the height, like above the tree line, I think that will really kind of like hurt it a bit. But I think the one park I think I do think they could get the access coaster is definitely Europa Park. I think that is another place. Even though they have like Mac rides, like coasters from like from them. Basically, I think that will be another good place to give that access facility because not only they have that's good for Mac rides stuff. Maybe they could actually just work with SNS maybe to build this thing or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. Alpha Swirl, thank you very, very much for coming on the show.
No problems.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts. In terms of your audio, I think next time just fix it up a little bit because it sounded quite in and out. I don't know why, but hopefully, fingers crossed, your audio will be back better next time.
Oh, okay. Okay, very simple.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for coming on, though, and hopefully see you later.
All right, see you. All right, bye.
Thank you very much. Alpha Swirl getting in there in the show. Big shout out to him. By the way, Diet Pepsi fan 1000 Vortex, I did see your comment. I am going to be ending the show very, very soon, I'm afraid. So you're going to have to wait until the next one, I'm afraid. Let's go through some last comments, though. Kaylee, what's the best European park? I've got to say Disneyland Paris because it's the only one I've been to. But in terms of the best looking European park, I've got my eye on 3: Europa Park, Energylandia, and Fantasialand. So I'm probably going to go with Fantasialand. I don't know what it is about Fantasialand compared to the others. I think it's just that little extra touch. Alton Towers or Thorpe Park. I think again, I think Thorpe Park has a more complete ride lineup, but Alton Towers is a better looking park in my opinion. So I'm probably going to, because it's about the overall experience, I'm probably going to go for Alton Towers on this one. Europa Park is the one I forgot to mention. I think that's very probable. Yeah, I think Europa Park is definitely a possibility. I have a dozen, but right off the top of my head, F-Telling and Europa Park. F-Telling is another one that looks absolutely beautiful. But there we go. That is episode 1 of the call-in show. Alpha Swell, I'm afraid your audio was just not great to use, so I can't really use the audio on this particular one. However, if you do keep calling in with better audio, you will get your fan cam saved and recorded, ready for the separate video. And also, guys, if you do want to call in future shows and have your say, then please do wait for your StreamYard link. It'll be in the description of the live streams anyway. And when any new rides get announced, if I'm off work on that day, I will do a live stream for the announcements of the new rides as well. And also some live streams about your thoughts on the new rides. And there will also be fan cams. It's not just, the theme park call-in show. It will be other streams as well. If there's a new ride been announced in the UK, stuff like that, I will go live and talk about it and then get you guys to phone and have your say. Those are going to be considered fan cams as well. So all these live streams and the live call-in shows and things like that, they're all going to become part of this new theme park fan cam series on the channel. So please keep your eyes peeled for more streams. York Hella Stream or Tully Shocktober? I've got to go with Hella Scream. I haven't been to Shocktoberfest yet, so I've got to go with Hella Scream. But Hella Scream is very tough to beat right now. Thanks for letting me know about the live. No problem, Kaylee. Massively appreciated. And thank you guys for watching this show. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. And for now, my name is Coaster Chow. Keep living the coast life. And I'll see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Take care, guys. Have a coaster-tastic